Ever dig through your bank statement, see that recurring charge, and think, what in the world is that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we've all been there.
Right. It's like, that old gym membership you never use, but you're still shelling out cash for.
It's the worst.
And it turns out that kind of stuff happens with traditional data centers, too. You're stuck paying for a ton of capacity, even if your business isn't using it all the time.
Exactly. It's like you're locked into a year-long lease, but your needs change month to month.
But good news is, with cloud computing, we can ditch those rigid contracts and switch to a pay-as-you-go model.
It's all about flexibility. You only pay for the resources you actually use. Like, think of it as your business's tech utility bill.
Love that analogy. But as with any utility, there's a knack to keeping those costs under control.
For sure, cloud's awesome, but it requires a whole new way of thinking about IT finances.
So today, we're diving deep into how to make this variable cost model really work for you. So, no more mystery charges. Let's unlock the secrets to cloud cost optimization.
I'm excited to dig into this. The potential for savings is huge, but so many businesses aren't even aware of the tools and strategies at their disposal.
Yeah, that's why we're here, to demystify all of it. So let's start with the basics. What's the biggest advantage of this whole variable cost thing?
Hands down, it's flexibility. See, traditional data centers, they're like being stuck in a long-term contract. Inflexible and, honestly, often pretty wasteful.
Right, like buying all the ingredients for every meal you might cook in the next 3 years.
Exactly. You end up with a pantry full of expired who knows what. Cloud's different. It's about just-in-time grocery shopping. Need more storage this month? You get it instantly. Not using it next month? No problem. Scale it back.
So we can scale our resources up or down as needed. That's amazing. It's like having a magic wand for your IT infrastructure.
It is pretty magical. But here's the catch. This just-in-time model, it only works if you've got a good strategy in place.
Ah, I see. So it's not just about randomly adding and removing resources on a whim. We need a plan.
A solid plan.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you risk those costs spiraling out of control, which kind of defeats the purpose.
So how do we go about creating that strategy? Where do we even begin?
Well, first things first. Realize that cloud providers are actually on your side here. They want you to save money.
Really? Why is that?
Think about it. The more efficiently you use their services, the happier you are as a customer. It's good business for everyone. Plus, it's better for the environment to use resources responsibly.
That makes sense. So what are they doing to help us out?
The cloud providers, they offer a treasure trove of optimization tools. For instance, take AWS Cost Explorer. It's like having a financial advisor built right into your cloud platform.
Oh, wow. So it helps us keep track of our spending and find areas where we can cut back.
Exactly. It helps you pinpoint those idle resources that are just sitting there sucking up money. You'd be surprised how much you could save just by identifying and shutting down unused instances. It can even suggest right-sizing options. Like if you're using a super powerful server for a task that could be done with something smaller, Cost Explorer will flag that for you.
It's like having a personal shopper for your cloud resources, making sure you're getting the best deals and not overspending.
Exactly.
That's incredible. And are there any other tools like that out there?
Oh, tons. Azure has its own cost management suite, and Google Cloud has its pricing calculator and recommendation engine. Honestly, it's like having a whole team of financial experts at your fingertips.
Wow. And to think, some people are still hesitant to make the switch to the cloud. They're missing out on all these amazing resources.
Seriously. And here's a pro tip. Set up waste reports for each of your teams and display them, publicly, like on dashboards for everyone to see.
Interesting. Why make it so transparent?
Well, for one, it shows each team their potential impact. But if you display the potential savings in dollars, well, that can be a powerful motivator. It's a fun way to gamify efficiency and encourage everyone to be more cost-conscious.
I love that. Turning it into a friendly competition. That's genius.
Right. And it gets people thinking about cost optimization as a team effort, not just something that the finance department worries about.
Exactly. And speaking of teams, I'd imagine staying ahead of the curve with cloud costs also means making sure your team's skills are up to par, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Technology is always evolving, especially in the cloud world. It's like, imagine trying to navigate a new city with an outdated map.
You're bound to get lost. And I'm guessing the same thing happens if your cloud skills are outdated.
Precisely. You'll miss out on new features, new tools, new ways to optimize. So investing in training, workshops, even those fun hackathons, those are all crucial.
Those aren't just expenses then. They're investments in your team's ability to unlock even greater cost optimization.
100%. The more your team knows, the more they can leverage the power of the cloud and the more money you save. It's a win-win-win.
I'm all about those win-wins. But even with the best intentions and all the right tools, can't unexpected costs still pop up? What about those times when you, I don't know, accidentally use the most expensive ingredient in a recipe without realizing it?
You're talking about cost anomalies. And yes, those can definitely happen. It's easy to spin up a resource for a quick experiment and totally forget about it.
And then bam, huge cloud bill at the end of the month. Not a fun surprise. So how do we avoid those oops moments?
That's where real-time anomaly detection comes in. It's like having a watchdog for your cloud costs.
Ooh, I like that. So how does that work?
Well, you set up alerts so that if anything unusual happens, like a sudden spike in data transfer or an unexpected surge in API calls, you get a notification right away.
And we can get those alerts right in our team chat too, right? So that we can address the issue immediately before it impacts our budget too much.
Exactly.
Now, that's what I call damage control. But okay, let's talk about those commitment-based discounts that cloud providers love to offer. Are those actually a good deal, or are they a potential trap?
It's a bit like buying in bulk. You know those giant packs of toilet paper?
Oh, tell me about it. I'm still working my way through a year's supply.
Right, you get a discount, but only if you actually use everything before it expires. It's the same principle with these discounts.
So don't commit to a year-long contract if you only need that extra storage for a month-long project. Makes perfect sense. But how do we make sure we're choosing the right discount options? There are so many to choose from.
Before you commit to anything, just take a deep breath and do a quick ROI analysis. Weigh the potential savings against the costs.
So like actually crunch the numbers and see if it makes financial sense for our specific needs.
Precisely. And here's another tip. Whenever possible, opt for flexible options. Those will let you adjust your usage as needed, so you're not locked into something that's no longer a good fit.
This has been incredibly insightful. I feel like I've learned so much already.
Glad to hear it. There's a lot to unpack when it comes to cloud costs, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding the ins and outs of the variable cost model to harnessing the power of optimization tools and even turning cost saving into a game. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Remember, the beauty of the cloud lies in its agility and scalability.
Yeah.
But to truly leverage that power, you need to take a proactive, informed approach to managing your costs.
You heard it here, folks. By being strategic and utilizing all the incredible tools at your disposal, you can unlock the full potential of the cloud and gain a real competitive edge without breaking the bank.
Absolutely.
And that's something worth thinking about. Until next time.